everyone, and welcome to today's episode of ZK Studies, where we are going to be taking a look at the anatomy of the thorax. So first of all, what is the thorax? The thorax refers to the chest cavity and the different organs which you can see from the neck to the diaphragm. So in this part of the body. Now let's take a look at the organs. First, we have the lungs, which are a pair of organs. The lungs take in oxygen from the air. And then they release carbon dioxide. These structures over here are the lungs. Now we also have an organ called the trachea. And the trachea is essentially the windpipe. It contains lots of rings of cartilage to keep it open. And helps carry air into the lungs. So if we go back to the diagram, this part over here is the trachea, and I believe these are the rings of cartilage. We also have structures called bronchi or bronchioles. And they are tubes which branch from the trachea. And they help carry air even deeper into the lungs. Bronchi, bronchioles, and the trachea are actually covered in ciliated cells as well as mucus. And remember, cilia refers to small hairs. So ciliated cells and mucus in order to trap dirt and prevent it from entering the lungs. And this helps reduce infections. There are also structures known as alveoli. And these are small air sacs with thin walls. And they are where gaseous exchange occurs. And there is a separate video which focuses on the adaptations of alveoli which make it suitable for its function. So I don't think alveoli are depicted in this diagram, but there would be structures like these. on the end of bronchioles. So far we have the lungs, the trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and alveoli. So it's 5. Another important part of the thorax are the ribs. And ribs are bones which make up the chest wall. They protect the lungs. And during inhalation or exhalation, they move. So they move to increase thorax volume during inhalation. And then there's reduced thorax volume during exhalation. Please do also check out the inhalation and exhalation video because it provides the steps involved there. Let's now move our attention to intercostal muscles. And these are the muscles in between the ribs. So it comes from the name. Inter meaning between, and cost, which means ribs. So they're the muscles between ribs. And we have both internal intercostal muscles and external intercostal muscles, which form an antagonistic muscle pair. So these would be your intercostal muscles. Okay, I think we have 2 more structures left to go. Yep, okay. There are also pleural membranes inside the thorax. And these are smooth membranes which cover the lungs, and they're on the inside of the thorax. And they help secrete pleural fluid. The pleural fluid helps reduce friction so that the lungs and the wall of the thorax can move over each other. So it reduces friction between the lungs and thoracic wall. And finally, we have the diaphragm. The diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscular sheath which is depicted over here. And more information will be provided in the inhalation and exhalation video, but it essentially contracts and moves down during inhalation and relaxes and moves up during exhalation. So there you have it, the 8 main structures. They include the lungs, the trachea, bronchi or bronchioles, alveoli, ribs, intercostal muscles, as well as pleural membranes and the diaphragm. I'll just go ahead and highlight some key terms.